Oh, hello.
Hi. I have a confession.
What is it?
It's Box Blanket and Brew, but it's Box Blanket, Brew and pajamas today.
Oh,
We're embracing the comfy.
if only I'd known. If
It was last
only I'd
minute.
known. Was it inspired by Bal, who was in her pajamas a few weeks ago when she was chatting to
Do you
us?
know what? For the sake of reminiscing, yeah, it was.
Fair.
Although they're not fancy pajamas, so I can't say that.
I think they're great. I love them.
I have
Welcome,
got my blanket.
everybody. Oh, you've got your blanket. I've got my blanket. I've got my brew. I've chosen a spotty mug today because it's a party.
It is
So
a party.
yeah.
I've got mine's clearly a Halloween party because mine's I put a spell on Brew.
Oh,
So,
I love it. I love a good pun.
mhm.
I love a good play on words.
Uh-huh.
Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us for our party.
I know.
Why is it a party today, Sam?
Because it's the last one, Nina, of season 2. And while that's very sad, I'm very excited.
I am too. It's been bloody amazing.
It has been bloody amazing.
It's
Both.
really hard. Yeah, go on.
Both series have been bloody amazing.
Yeah, and it's been really hard because what we decided to do in one short episode today is to try and first of all do a bit of a BBB, a books, blanket and brew for you, because we really didn't cover all the questions that we had last time, but also to try and do the impossible, which is to reminisce and encapsulate 2 series worth of guests and 16 hours of incredible conversation.
16 hours.
16 hours. And it really, I mean, both of us have been desperately trying to get through the 16 hours and just, recap on all of them. And it's also almost impossible to encapsulate it because every one of them, literally every guest, every episode has been so rich and so layered and such an incredible conversation and
Yeah.
taken us to places that we didn't really ever expect.
Not at all. It surpassed every single expectation I had of this project already. Like, just every single conversation has taught me something. It's left me with something to take away. It's made me think of different things differently. It's got me into different things that maybe I wasn't into. Maybe I'm now an audio drama nerd. Who knows? But I've listened to more since. So I might be.
It's worked. It's worked.
It's
I mean,
worked,
same with me, like who knew that paranormal romance was even a thing?
isn't
Now
it?
you know it is.
And you've read your first one.
I've read my first one, I've popped my cherry.
Uh-huh. And now it's my mission to get the next one.
Great. I'm very excited. So, yeah, and there's been so many people who have joined our lives and our chats every week
And
and
we
been a
see
part.
you.
We do. We really see you. And hello, Angel Shabs, right back at you. You've been one of our most loyal viewers and followers, and we're just so grateful to all of you because you know what we're talking about because
Yeah.
you've been there, the entire time. So thank you. It just means the world to us. So where shall we start today, Sam?
I think we should do what we're reading now. What are you reading, Nina? It's been a
What am
while.
I reading? It has been a while, hasn't it? I am reading something really different. So it's called The Land in Winter by Andrew
Mm.
Miller. I've never read Andrew Miller's work before. It was a gift, a Christmas or a birthday gift from my dad, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it says that it was a Booker Prize shortlist. And it's historical fiction, but near history. So it's set just after the Second World War, like about 10 years after. So we're talking late 50s, early 60s. And it's really interesting because it's quite a gentle, quiet novel that slowly reveals, all the darkness behind these characters, seemingly quite conventional lives. It's kind of set in, the rural countryside somewhere near Bristol. Um, at a time, I think it was a year where there was randomly some big freeze and there was just snow for days and the entire
Yeah.
country just like paused. And it's just so atmospheric and you're so deeply in the characters' lives and minds and things like that. So that's what I'm immersed in at the moment and it's just getting juicy.
That
The
sounds really good, actually.
Yeah, what about you?
Well, I'm reading an ARC at the minute. I'm reading, for anyone that might not know, advanced reader copy. So that's like a book before it's been published. Um, and yeah, I'm reading Crystal and Rachel's new book. Yes, yeah. And
What can
that
you
is,
tell us?
as we've just established, paranormal romance. And it's Wolf Shifter goes to, yeah, yeah, goes to stay with her uncle, meets these four beautiful men, and you can kind of see what might happen.
I
I
love
hope
it.
you can see what might happen.
I love it already. I'm very excited for the possibilities.
Yeah.
Is it everything you hoped for and more?
Well, this is the one that we were speaking about on the live with them. It's the
Mm.
one that got me into them. So
Yes.
they are self-publishing it this time. They're taking it away from Wattpad and they're doing it in a self-published way,
Yeah.
but they're changing it. So they're incorporating it into their last book, kind of their world.
Yeah.
Not, it's very different. It's not the same, but it's still Shifter. Yeah. And that's what I'm reading, and I'm very much enjoying it. I still love Elijah with all my heart. He
Yes.
is still my number one.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
love
it's very
that.
different than the first time because a lot's been changed to fit kind of different things, new tropes, the ending's different. So yeah, I'm loving it. But I knew I would.
Amazing. How exciting. And what a lovely feeling. I'm reading someone that I've never read before, discovering something new, but you're reading some of your absolute
Yeah.
faves. And just knowing that, you're not going to be disappointed. You know exactly what they're capable of. And it must just be gorgeous to dive into that world, their world
It's
again.
gorgeous to read something that I've read before and see it so different as well. Because I thought going into it, I was going to be like, I know what happens. Like, don't change it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so connected to it. Don't change it. And like names have changed, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're you, and you're like, but I'm like, oh, I'm so on board with it because the way they've done it's so clever, and it's kind of like hint, hint. If you read it the first time, you'll know what this is. But it's kind of yeah. I love it. Everybody read it when it comes out, please.
Yes, I can't wait. I cannot wait. What's the title?
It's Moon Bonded.
Moon bonded. Oof. That's sexy.
I
I love
know.
it. Gorgeous. So what were you reading before that?
I read before that Mother Faker.
Oh yeah.
And I posted a review about it the other day. Oh my god, it got me right where I didn't expect it to get me because I think I said the last time I was about to start it, like I was a bit like not hesitant because I knew it would be good because I'd been to the press night and the baby book shower thing. Um and the way the author spoke about it, Anna Brooke Mitchell, she was talking about it so eloquently and so like in depth, and I thought, do you know what? This sounds incredible, but I was a bit on the fence about the pretending to have a baby kind of. I was like, is that a bit, you know? But the way she did it and the way she was explaining kind of throughout the character the pressures of being a woman and
Yeah.
what's expected of you and the whole rhetoric around you'll change your mind or I always knew you'd change your mind, which
Yeah.
is what Barry got told by everyone around her when she was like, I'm pregnant. And she was like, obviously not.
Right.
And everyone around her was like, I knew you'd change your mind. I knew you wanted like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and the way that gets boiled down to something so deep and so layered, and it's not just on the surface. Like, yeah, there's funny bits. She has all these seven bumps with different names, and like, yeah, it's funny, but it is so much more than that. And
Yeah.
it's the family, like the found family in it, because she gets this new next door neighbor called Trish, and Trish is the one that helps her, like on a whim. Like she's just moved in next door and she just so happens to be a doctor. Like it's
Right.
very convenient. But then there's this young boy that she's a teacher and she's just trying to get some time off work because the person that has just been off for having like her 20 millionth baby, she lost out on a promotion to, and she was the one covering her workload. So she was like, nah, fuck this. Do you know what? I'm just gonna do what she's doing. Um, and yeah, so we meet Callum, who's one of her students, and he's like a rebel, gets in on all the drama, he's like a bad boy, and he finds out. And yeah, drama ensues. like sabotage from the self in shoes. It's just very, very good. It's very funny, but it makes you think. But it
Mm.
doesn't just make you think like, would I do that? It makes you think morally, like, is that okay? Like, am I okay with this? And then kind of when you get to know Barry, you're like, I'm not okay with it, but I get it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We love a flawed protagonist, don't
Yeah.
we? Yeah.
And that's why I loved it so much because she's so flawed. You can't really you can't really like brush it away what she did, but you can understand it. And I think that's something Anna did really, really well because I
Yeah.
thought, I'm not sure I'm going to feel for someone that's doing that, like that kind of
Mm.
a lie. But I did. And I was like, I'm blown away.
Love that. I love that.
And what was you just reading, Nina? Because I've just gone on for 25 minutes.
Oh no, please, that's the whole point, right? We're here to talk about books. Well, I actually went back and I finished a book that I started and then I had to pause because of all the brilliant guests that we had whose work I wanted to catch up on. But
Yeah.
I went back and I finished Enter Ghost by Isabella Hamad. It's so good. It's so brilliant. And it spoke to me because, she's from a mixed background. So
Yeah.
I think half English and half Palestinian. I think she's half English. And she's an actress. And she decides to go back to the West Bank and be a part of, she kind of gets co opted into a production of Hamlet in the West Bank, and it's so original. Like, I've never read anything like it. And first of all, she captures the world of actors and actresses so well, and kind of the cliquey, strange world in
Yeah.
London, the kind of the theatre world over here. um and then what it's like to step into a completely different world, and what it takes to just put on a show, under those conditions. And it kind of builds and builds and builds, and there's so many quite literal obstacles and
Mm.
barriers and sabotage and what have you. And the climax is just amazing, but you've also got this deep, deep analysis of this famous play as well, which is Hamlet by
Yeah.
Shakespeare, which they're all trying to kind of do a production of. And I just thought it was such a clever way of depicting what's going on in Palestine and
Yeah.
what it takes to be a creative or an artist over there under these conditions. And that something as simple as wanting to put on a play is just seen as so political and
Mm.
controversial, and you're sabotaged at every turn. And these incredible kind of resilient people, all of which who are different characters, really strong, original, unique characters. Some of them really funny, some of them quite arrogant, just
Yeah.
really, really interesting. All just trying to make this show work, put on the show. And then you've got this kind of character who is English but also Palestinian, so kind of is part of the community and the culture, but isn't, and all her reference points are completely different. And she's got this different life in London, and she's over here just trying to make it work, and all the family history as well. I just loved it. I thought it was so, so clever and such a nuanced, subtle, clever way of depicting what's going on over there.
That honestly, like you, I started to read that book, but I got waylaid with arcs and everything. That has made me want to go back and finish it.
Do it. It really is. I think, we're all so desperate to kind of make sense of what's going on in the
Yeah.
world at the moment. And sometimes, if I'm honest, I buy all the books because I want to support. And then I'm too scared to read them because I'm like, am I just going to get, devastated and
Mm.
traumatized? And actually, what I need to remember is that these writers are brilliant, and of course they are going to devastate you, but in the most incredible, life affirming, poignant way that opens your eyes and broadens your horizons. And, it's not just trauma for the sake of it, it's a real human story. And so many of the best ones, are the ones that tell us about a world that we just haven't lived in and we haven't experienced. So it's totally worth it. It was absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant.
I think as well, at times it is really important to be devastated, like
Yeah.
especially in something that's like knowledge is power, books are knowledge. And I think if someone picks that up that maybe hasn't like you know, realised what's going on in the world or has been maybe turning a blind eye, reading something that is so open, that's so raw,
Yeah.
it that has the power to change minds, it has the power to change hearts. And I think that's what we've talked about quite a lot. So I think as hard as it is to read things like that, and I've been through that, I read um The Eyes of Gaza.
Yeah.
And that was a very, very tough read. It took me a while to get through it. But again, it's important. And yeah.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you. And what's next?
What's next? Oh, I don't know. I actually can't answer that one. I'm such a mood reader, and at the minute, I am really struggling. I'm
Yeah.
struggling with what I want to read next. I'm struggling with the priorities of like
Yeah.
advanced copies. I'm struggling with things that I've got to do, like maybe read for PR. I'm struggling with like what to read next, what I'm feeling like I could read next. Yeah, I think
Um,
I'm thinking of going down a thriller route.
Nice. I like it. Good. It sounds like you've got a lot of options, which
There's
is a
too
good
many
problem to
options.
have, but
There's
also a
too
bit overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you
Um,
reading next?
I'll tell you, yeah, I love what Beck says. I'm such a fan. We love you, Beck. Who like
We
we
do love you,
probably
Beck
know
Beck.
you, and you just said, that when you read the kind of books that we've just been discussing, it makes you realise that humans are humans, and they're all real people wherever they are in the world, and that's the beauty of these books and these stories, right? So thank you. That's such a great way of putting
100%.
it. I'm gonna so. I don't know if you know who Nena Cherry is.
I
She
don't.
is an incredible musician, pop star. She had her first hit, I think, in the late 80s, and she became a bit of an icon for a lot of us. I was very, very, very young when she first had her first hit, but she just became this incredible kind of diva and icon. I think a few people know who we're talking about. And she's had a bit of a comeback. She's got her daughters are now becoming famous musicians. We've got one of her daughters is Mabel, who's a famous musician in her own right.
No.
That's
I'm
that's
obsessed
who.
with Mabel.
Okay, so Mabel's mum is Nena Cherry, basically.
No way.
Yeah, so that's where it started. And there's Tyson as well, who I think is her other daughter, who's also a musician. And we love her. And I was listening to a podcast with her daughter on the other day, actually, Tyson or Mabel, I can't remember who it was. And of course, they were talking about their mum and just her legacy and what have you. And it just so happens that my partner, yeah, Mabel, it just so happens that my partner is meeting her tomorrow in the studios
No.
where she's going to be recording. So we did something cheeky, which is we bought her book so that we can take it and ask her to sign it tomorrow.
Work smarter, not harder.
Totally, right? So we are very excited. And I said to Kash, I was like, when you shake your hand, don't wash it until you come home, because then I can actually be 1 degree of separation away from Nena Cherry. So yeah, that's my kind of fangirling moment. And I don't read a lot of nonfiction. I don't read a lot of autobiographies. I really, really need to care. But she really is quite an icon, and
Yeah.
she's still going. And she's passed it on to her daughters as well. Yes, Shabs, they do all have the coolest names. It's true. And now that they're becoming mothers as well, now the daughters. So it's just a gorgeous legacy.
That's
So yes,
crazy.
I know, right?
I
So
can't
that's what
believe
I'm
like
reading.
Mabel's mum was famous.
Mabel's mum.
That's
And actually, was it Mabel now? I think it was Mabel, because my book that I'm writing now, which is kicking my butt at the moment. I'm absolutely exhausted, but it's almost there. It's about the music industry, and there's so much I'm desperate to fit in, because the more I learn, the more I'm like, this is mad. Why is nobody writing about this? But in this podcast, I remember Mabel saying, and it really, really touched me, that she was criticized in certain circles for not having a really unique sound or voice, and that she sounded a bit like everybody else, and that she, wasn't offering very much new. And she said, I'm young, like, give me a minute. I'm still exploring and finding myself, and like, the music industry doesn't give you a lot of space to like experiment and fail and try
Mhm.
again, until you figure it out. They just kind of shoehorn you into this persona and this identity and this brand. And, you've got no time to really find yourself, and you're often very young and still growing. And it really touched me that I ended up putting it in the book because I was just like, it's so true, it's so true for so many people, and then they get criticized for it as well, and they haven't really had a choice in
Mm.
it.
It works on
So
the flip of the coin though. Like someone will find a sound that they think's theirs, and then they'll change to a different sound, and they'll be criticised for changing. So
yeah,
you can't keep people happy unless you stay the same for like 30 years.
yeah, exactly. And I'm sure that's the same for writers as well. I know that sometimes I'm ready to write something just funny and
Yeah,
light-hearted and just
give it
really
to me.
cozy. I'm desperate to write some cozy stuff. And like the stuff I've written is so dark and hard hitting and like gritty and urban and that kind of thing, and I don't know if I'm allowed to write that. I mean, no one's told me not to, but there is a discussion about like what
Yeah.
would follow on well from the last one, and what is cohesive and what have you, and I really respect that. I think that's really important to understand the way the market works, the way your
Mhm.
readership works, etc. What, people who have been loyal to you, what they might be expecting next. And also, just to be able to deviate from that and expand and explore at the same time. So it's hard.
I do. I see. I get it from a marketing perspective as being like like content creator kind of thing. It's marketing. It's like the people that it's finding your niche, and then the people that follow will follow your niche. But also, I think we should do a Nina does rom-com.
Oh my God. I've got so many ideas. I
I think you
really
should
do.
do it.
Oh, I'd love to. Do you know what I think I need to do is like have I mean, I say this, I just have no time. So, and in a good way, like it's really good. Like what I try to do is like, for example, once I finish this draft, I'm going to send it off. And then usually what happens is, oh, Lorna, thank you. I would read whatever you write. Beck says, do it.
Agree.
Oh my God, I love you guys. Thank you. Honestly, I'm gonna cry. It really means a lot, right? Oh, Angela's here. Oh my God. Okay, so like Angela's my best mate, and she's here. So hi.
And she's
And
saying do it. So I think you need
she
to do
said
it.
yes, yeah. So if Angela says yes, then it's happening. But I think what I plan to do is I send off the draft of this massive mountain of a book. And then I think, right, there's all these other things I could secretly write in between drafts, while I'm waiting for my agent or my publisher, depending on where in the process I am, to give me the notes. And of course, what ends up happening is that I'm so exhausted. It takes me like 2 to 4 weeks to like just catch up on my life. Like I need a haircut, I need to go to the dentist, I need a smear test. Like there's things that I've been putting off for months just to get this book done. And then I just need to sleep for like
Blood,
two.
sweat, and tears.
Right. And, obviously there's people that graft a lot harder than writers, but I think it's just so important, just to get that. So by the time I get the notes back, I'm only just ready to go again, and I had planned to write 3 other stories in the meantime, and it just doesn't happen.
3.
Well, maybe one or two.
I think you don't give yourself enough grace though, because it's not all you do. You have so many other things. You've got normal life, you've got your job, you've got different things, and it's not like you are a full-time writer. You're a writer, but it's not full-time. And I think the amount of like dedication that takes to do that amongst everything else, in today's world especially, deserves a round of applause.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you very much. And I think also, like, one of the things you and me have in common is that we are grafters, and we,
Workaholics.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I try to be really boundaried around that. Oh, are you right? Chunky, deep, hard-hitting books. That's hard, I'm sure. Oh, I like that. But what I would say is, um, I think both of us have a lot of different things going on at the same time.
Hmm.
We try to keep a lot of plates spinning, which I love about us. I just love a grafter,
Yeah.
but I think in terms of being a workaholic, I try really hard not to be. So I'm quite precious about my weekends. If I do have a real push, and obviously with a book, it's usually weeks and weeks, sometimes months of pushing, then I really then insist on having that downtime,
Yeah.
so that I'm not a workaholic, because I don't glamorize that. And, I think it's really important to have that balance. But we do it because we love it, right?
Do. I will say I'm a little bit of a workaholic. I don't want to glamorize it. I'm not glamorizing it whatsoever. Please take your time. Please go to bed at a normal time. Like all these things, drink your water. But like even on Valentine's Day, I was on the train going to Manchester and I was uploading things that I needed to do and I was like planning things like just so that obviously like the night would be free, like we could have the next day. But it was just like get this done, gotta get this done, gotta get this done. And like, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
I think that's the difference, isn't it? You're
Yeah.
doing what you're passionate about,
Hmm.
passionate of. I don't know. I'm not. I'm just a
Passion.
writer. Who knows? Words,
Passion.
English. Yeah, there's passion there. And because of that, I think you're right. There's a real joy. Like, what I feel now is very spent
Yeah.
and in need of a break, but so fulfilled. It's
Hmm.
not like I feel drained or used or anything like that. I'm doing what I love. I'm really, really lucky. And I feel like you probably are the same.
Yeah. 100%.
Love it.
And I feel for the next one, I feel like we've gone on about these things so much from the beginning and just you and me in general. What are your favourite tropes, Nina? Now that you
Oh,
know what a trope is.
I mean, I'm still getting my head around them. I need a list just so I can see them.
Do you want me to
Um,
say mine first?
yes, please, because it will inspire me. Go for it.
Okay. So, enemies to lovers,
Yeah,
standard.
yeah,
Second chance romance. I
yes,
love that in a romance. Like, come on, give it back to me. Let's
yeah,
go right back to the start. That's
yeah,
why I love Pretty Things on Shelves, the one you read of Maggie. Like, I loved
yes,
that. I love a podcast vibe.
yeah,
So it's kind of like split between the podcast episodes and the story. So that's kind of None of This Is True vibes, Listen for the Lie, All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. They're kind of podcast vibes. And I love romantic suspense. I love rom-com.
mm,
I love Oh, I hate miscommunication. Hate it.
on you,
Keep
yeah,
it away from me. I don't want it.
yeah, yeah. Do you know what? I agree with so much of that. I think enemies to lovers I love, but sometimes I find that the one that I can see coming the most often.
Hmm.
But second chance love for me is great. And I think there's something to do with the fact that there's so much glorification of youth and things like
Hmm.
that, that to see an older relationship, have a second chance, and those characters who have such a history really gets me in the feels,
Yeah.
and so just this sense of like, it's messy and it's complicated and it's real life,
Yeah.
and people change, over years, and who you were in that relationship at the beginning is not who you are now.
No.
So how do you rediscover each other, on new terms, in all those different areas and elements of a relationship,
Yeah.
romantic, passionate, etc., all of it.
Hmm.
So I think that probably is my favorite one. And if I was going to write something, that would be the thing I think I'd look at, is like a couple that probably, um, just had been through the ringer
I
and
need it.
just had had enough. And, I think they, and then they go out in the world and, they've been out of the dating scene for a while and then are like, sod this for a laugh. No,
Hmm.
I forgot what I really had, and people
Yeah.
don't get my jokes and
Or they
like,
meet at some random kind of thing years down the line.
yeah.
Like, oh,
Let's do it. Chavs would
not
read
me.
it. So. So yeah, and then what did you say? Yeah, misunderstandings. It really
Hmm.
just irritates me. It really annoys me.
The
I'm
only
just
time I
like,
can read miscommunication is if it's not one that can be solved with one single conversation.
yeah,
When it can be solved by just one conversation and
yeah,
the book's like 600 pages long, it irritates me so badly that I will break the spine of that book because I'm so angry. Just talk.
Just talk.
Just talk. It would save like 60,000 words. Just talk.
Do you know what it reminds me of though? And this is why I'm over it. It's because there's so many Shakespeare plays that have miscommunication in. Think of Romeo and Juliet. There was one letter that they had to get
Literally.
to Romeo to make sure that he knew that Juliet wasn't really dead. She was just pretending. And it got lost in the post and
And
everyone
look how
died.
that turned out.
Yeah. I'm just like, if only Royal Mail had gotten their act together, that
That doesn't shock me though.
miscommunication.
It's
Yeah,
Royal Mail.
exactly. But I mean, there's so much, and it really annoys me. So I think because of that, there's been like decades of my life where I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no, I'm not having it. Like, everyone just communicate clearly, and we're all going to be okay. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
100%. It's the one thing in books that really boils my blood. I'm just like, I'm either going to have to stop reading it or I'm
Yeah.
going to have to disassociate because I can't do it.
I remember once years ago there was a different Shakespeare play, and it was about someone who'd got dressed up as a man, disguised as a man, to spy on their somebody, and then somebody fell in love with them, and then they got confused about who was who. And I remember someone in the audience just going, "Oh, for God's sake, she's so and so and he's so and so, and she didn't really mean it."
That would be me. That would be, are you sure it wasn't me? Because
Possibly.
that would
Very
literally be me.
possibly. Yeah, I
Oh,
think
I
the
just can't be
recognition.
having it. I
Yeah,
can't be
agreed.
having it.
Agreed. It's the frustration, isn't it? So
Yeah.
yeah, I think there's a lot of us that would be shouting at Romeo
Honestly,
if we saw it
just,
again.
oh, it actually boils me.
Yeah, yeah, agreed.
Um, what are your bookish icks?
Oh, my bookish icks. Well, we've talked about one for sure.
Yeah,
Um, what is it? Do you know the thing for me that I just can't abide, and I'll just close the book,
yeah,
is some really outdated male-female relationships that are verging on just inappropriate. I
yeah,
don't like age difference.
yeah.
I
Same.
don't like power, uh, like what's the word?
Power play.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't like power play, but I also don't like the power indifference as well, you
Hmm.
know. So if there's a position of authority or responsibility that's being, compromised, but it's presented as sexy or
Hmm.
what have you, and I think I just get really turned off really quickly if either a man is writing a woman in a really, especially when they're describing them as a girl, when they're really
Oh,
like a grown woman. I just am over it. Uh, or if there's a real disconnect between how unattractive and old that person is and how attractive and young she is, but for some reason she just clocks him and she really
hmm.
gets him and sees something special in him, and I'm like, this is your wet dream you've just written into a book.
Literally.
I've read this 100 times. I'm not interested. Or if it's a woman who's writing who, like, I love exploring sexuality and I think sex in books is brilliant and what have you. But sometimes alarm bells ring when it's been kind of internalized a little bit.
Hmm.
And that's not to kink shame at all. Like, we're here, we're open, like there's no wrong way of doing this. It's just my ick.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think we can do better here. So yeah, that's just and I know some of what I said is a bit controversial, but I'll be honest, that's my ick, really.
Yeah. I
What
mean,
about you?
I wouldn't even say it's controversial because I like 90% agree with it. Um, and also like you can't yuck someone's yum. If you enjoy it,
Yeah.
go for it. But like not everyone likes the same things, and that's what keeps it interesting. That's why there's so many different markets. It's why there's so many books. That being said, people who don't count audiobooks as reading,
Oh
that's a
yeah,
massive ick.
yeah,
Um, saying reading isn't political, big
yes.
ick. Oh, using foliage and flowers in a sex scene, I will literally close the book, put it back on my shelf, think about burning it 8 times, and then probably leave the room because it's made me so uncomfortable. Um,
Leave the foliage alone. Leave
no,
Mother
Nina,
Nature.
I'm not leaving the foliage alone. I don't need it. I've
No,
got
I'm telling them
plants.
to leave it
Oh,
alone.
yeah, they can leave the foliage alone.
Leave it to
I
Mother
have plants. I
Nature.
don't need it in my books. When the male character, specifically, but also a female character, both work, serenade the other character. Don't do it. Twisted Games, I am looking at you. The I'm not like the other girls trope. Don't want it.
Yeah.
The fake stickers on a book cover. Don't want them.
Oh, yes.
Chapters that are unnecessarily long. Don't
Yes.
want them. When books, I know I'm going on, but I've got a lot.
Do it. Do
It
it.
ends with
Go.
us specifically,
Yeah.
that being portrayed by reviewers as a romance when it's not a romance.
Mm.
That gives me the ick.
Yeah.
When when the spines don't match on a series, that gives me the ick. I won't buy the rest. Yeah, and then when you lend a book and they don't give it back how you gave it them, that's a very big
Oh,
ick.
that is I almost, yeah, that's almost ended relationships for me. I'm like, what is this piece of tats? But I
Literally.
don't mind if you've read it and enjoyed it, but if you've turned it into a bit of dog meat, then we're not friends anymore. Like,
hmm Honestly, if I got a book back and the spine was broken, do you know what? I would give them a big fat kiss if they gave it back to me, spine proper, even like annotated. I'd be
yeah,
like, I love you. You can borrow any book you want.
yeah.
If you break that spine or dog ear a page, I think you're going in my blocked contacts.
That's it. That's it. You're gonna end up like Romeo, and
hmm
that's serious.
Yeah, you're going to end up like Romeo. There will be no miscommunication. I will be telling you straight.
Beck would be scared to borrow your books, apparently. You're a spine cracker. Well, Beck, you're in good company because Bal cracks the spines as well. Our
I
lovely
also
Bal
wouldn't lend one to
sometimes.
Belle.
No,
No,
we love Bal, but
I love
no,
her to bits, but she's not having a book.
exactly.
The spine scared me.
Fair, fair. And dog earring is she's a dog earer as well. You're right, Beck. She's breaking all the rules.
Is she?
So yeah, that was Bal. Yeah, I think Bal did both. Is that right?
Oh, I
I
hope
can't remember.
not. I thought it was bookmark.
Maybe it was bookmark. Let's not
Think it
accuse
was
her too much.
bookmark.
Yeah. To be fair. But I think
Although
maybe
Maggie,
Maggie
the
was the
book
one.
page,
Yeah, she folded the whole page.
hmm
Well,
that was a new
Beck,
one.
yeah, Beck is the dog era. Yeah, people are breaking the rules. People are
hmm
breaking the rules here.
Although they're
Everyone's
your
got spine
books,
crackers.
do anything with your own books.
Yeah,
However you love
exactly.
to read, they're yours. You bought them, you loaned them. They're your books.
Yeah,
But keep others pristine.
yeah, agreed. Now, I love that. I love that rant, and I love that you're so specific. And for me, what I love is I'm the same as you, Lorna. I like to keep my books looking new because I've said this before, but I always think of my legacy. It's my legacy for my
Mhm.
future generations, and I want them to be able to just, yeah, enjoy them in a decent state. However, um, I think